What is going on, everyone? It's Joe, Average Joe Vapes, and I've got another one for you today. It's not new, but it's new to me. It's this right here, the Tsunami Mech Kit from Geek Vape, and let's go ahead and pop down and take a look at this thing. Alright, well, this is the way the kit came for me. The box and everything included. It's a little bit of information here on the front, and I hit my tripod. Then on the sides, just got a Geek Vape on the name. The actual what it is Tsunami Mech Kit, Geek Vape again, and Tsunami Mech Kit. So there's not a whole lot on the package itself. And then it actually gives highlights. So just a little bit of information there. Then you get your scratch and check and your holograph and your UPC symbols and stuff like that. And of course, 18 and over. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop this puppy open. So there's actually quite a few things you actually get in the box. Well, let's leave it like this. You get your Tsunami Mech Kit with the Tsunami Pro RDA already installed onto it. I'll set that there. And then you get this right here, which already installed on here is a hybrid connection, where your RDA makes direct contact with the battery that's inside. So that's already pre-installed on in the kit. This is actually gives you the spring-loaded 510, which actually gives you the ability to use something that's not hybrid compatible. So basically, if the 510 connection is not sticking out really far enough to make it safe to use on a hybrid. On the inside, you get a nice little peak insulator here, so it's basically when your pin gets pushed down. Let's go ahead and stick a screwdriver in here. When your pin gets pushed down, if you can see it, let's go ahead and. But that will make connection with your battery. And that is one of the extras. And then of course this little piece right here. So for your, on the RDA itself, you have this just pops off real quick, the drip tip, and then you can pop this thing on, and you have yourself, you can use your favorite 510 connector or drip tip instead of using the already pre-installed chip cap. Oh, well, before I get started with the RDA, there's underneath this foam, you get your extras. So you get a tri-tool, which is actually a really nice tri-tool. It's two different types of flat heads and a Phillips head for the tri-tool. You get a squonk pin and 4 additional grub screws and a multitude of different O-rings for all the different bits and bobs of the that are on the RDA itself. And then there's actually an O-ring that's used on the for the actual black sleeve that's on the mod itself. Alright, so you get that, and then of course this nice little booklet that's in many different languages and just gives a overview of information, customer service numbers, and counterfeiting queries and counterfeiting, and then a little breakdown of basically how to assemble your Mech Kit together. Alright, set all that aside, and we'll go ahead and we'll grab the RDA. This is the Tsunami Pro RDA that's made by Geek Vape. It is a 25mm RDA, and just looking at it, you actually have, with just this top cap, looking at the top cap alone, or the barrel here, it actually has, you can see the cutouts that are on, they actually had them on the outside, so where you can go either dual coil configuration or actually a single coil with, you turn this around to the other side. Of course the chuff style cap is just easy, it just pops straight on and off, has a single O-ring here to keep it on, and this is actually a little bit of a lip, and when I pop this off I will actually show you. Go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so taking the barrel off, let's look at the barrel first. So if you look up and in the barrel, focus, There we go. Look up in the barrel, you can see a little lip, and that lip just kind of comes out from the inside about 1 millimeter, and that holds is what your cap, actually, your chuff cap sits right on. It sits in there nice. Underneath on the bottom of the chuff cap to help with flavor, it is domed as well, which is kind of nice. And I've found it actually does give pretty good flavor. Alright, so I'll set that here. Let's look at the base. So the base itself, and has your standard, velocity style build deck right here. Positive is actually on this side. You can actually see where the 510 connector comes up through the middle. And let me go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit. There we go. There you go. So this is the positive. You can see the 510 connector coming up through, and then just underneath it, up there, you can actually see the peak insulator that is keeping this separate from your negative, which is part of the deck there. Right, as you can tell, it's a very nicely protruding 510, and you can see into the airflow right there. There's one there. There's the other, and it goes into, as you can see on the deck, it does drop down from this nice oval down to 2 circles to come up through right directly underneath your coils. There's no slant to them at all, and it's extremely nice deep juice well that it has on it. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you how much it is, maybe. So it's a 6 millimeter deep juice flow. Alright, so on the bottom it says, say, Tsunami Pro, designed by GeekVape, gives you your serial number, and of course your don't throw away recycle thing here, and CE, and I'm not specifically, I probably ought to Google what CE is supposed to stand for. But that is it for the RDA. Let's go ahead and just kind of put that, well, looks like it's dried out, there we go. Set that aside. Now for the actual tube itself, and let's zoom back out a little bit. All this extra stuff off to the side. Alright, so this is your actual mech mod. It's your tube mod. So at the very top here, there we go. You see Black Ring Plus, which is what the tube itself is called. And designed by GeekVape, its own separate serial number there, and of course your normal markings on the bottom. It does have this funky little star, and of course a nice little hole for battery venting, and it says Geek Knows Better underneath there. So GeekVape, Geek Knows Better. And the little cog here, and I'm not sure if there was a specific reason to their etching design on the bottom of that, but that's what you got. You can actually see right here on the bottom, next to the switch, all these little holes drilled into the side, and that's all for battery venting, and I'll show you a little bit more on that here in a second. And pulling apart, let's just pull out the switch. So the switch, and we'll get a little closer in here. This is your switch, just a simple switch. You have this right here that gives self-adjusting to take out your battery rattle, and you have a little locking ring in there, and that locking ring holds in one of the 2 magnets that's actually used for the switch. And you can actually take the switch apart to clean. I'm not taking this little ring out, because it's just gonna be a pain to, well, let's go ahead and you just push in a little bit. Actually, you gotta push in and hold it, because it's, there we go. You just unscrew this silver pin, and you have to be very careful, because once there's a lot of force, since these are 2 magnets forcing against each other, and then you just pull your switch out. I almost flew out of my hands, but there you go. That is the inside of your switch. You've got this magnet here. Inside here, that's all what you have. There's nothing inside here. There's no screws, no threading, and no access to the inside. It's just besides that one little hole there, which goes down through the switch, through the button itself. completely down through, and that's actually where that's where your screw comes down and through and connects. When you're putting this back together, you have to make sure that this magnet is done incorrectly, and I kind of recommend coming from the side to feel the force push against, because if you come in there, it's started to, yeah, see how it lifts out. If that comes off and flips around, you're going to have a bugger of a time getting that magnet out of that hole. So as long as you can feel the force, put it back together. It's just as simple as it came out. Put that in and hold it in, and then just start threading in your contact. And then once it's in, good charge of the way, you can just tighten it right down. And it is a very strong magnet. Alright, let's come back to here, and now you can actually, and this is something that's really neat, you can actually buy these different sleeves to change them out. And it comes just apart like that, and then it's just literally just an aluminum sleeve that is notched at the top so that it does not rotate at all. It sits in those notches and does not rotate at all. And that is your sleeve for your mod, and you can replace it. They have got a couple different, they have that black one and another multicolored version of this specific mod. Well, two things. They give you the option to swap it out for another color if you don't just want black, or you just want multiple colors, so you can switch it up however you want. But right here, there's a clear O-ring that sits right here. And that clear O-ring gives just enough tension so that when you pull your switch off the bottom and you are going to replace the battery, your sleeve does not slide off at all. So it keeps it in there right tight up to the top. And then as you can see here, those slots in this other groove here for battery venting. So this is how you have to break down the mod itself completely in order to be able to do that, because if you don't take the sleeve off, this will catch, of course, on the sleeve notch, and it's really hard to turn that with that little, even with just that one little O-ring. But you just unscrew this, and there's your hybrid connector. Nice insulator on the inside too to keep extra shorting and stuff done, but it's also on the inside. There's a little bit extra safety, and you can't pull that out. I have tried, but you see the white, there's a white sleeve in there. I believe they glue it in there, but it's just gives you another bit of safety. I mean, remember, you are the safety for something like that. And also, just as a heads up too, the threads are different on each side, so the part where the O-ring is very thin thread, so it'll only go on one way. You can't put it on both ways. So see how thick those threads are compared to this. So it's very, you can't even really make out the threads on that 510, but they're there. That right there, just pulling that off and swapping it over, that's how you put your spring-loaded 510 connector on. And that is pretty much the majority of what this is. The whole thing is 25 millimeter in diameter. It's a very strong magnet. It just connected itself. So if you've got a ring on of any kind of metal, mine is Damascus, it will connect itself. And just go ahead and let's putting this all together here. Just slide that on. Easy peasy. Go ahead and put the RDA on. And then put your switch on. Battery, coils, and cotton and juice. And you've got alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get some coils in here and some cotton and a little bit of juice, and I will meet you back up top and we'll give you a little bit of pros, cons, and a little bit of what's information about it. Alright, there you have it. That is the Tsunami Mech Kit from Geek Vape. Some thoughts on it. it is a nice little kit. I mean, you get everything all together. Bunch of little extras, a great little tool. Comes with an RDA, so you don't have to worry about that. And I actually did do a little bit of checking back, and the RDA alone, if you were to purchase it, is 25 or 20, between 25 and 30. Build design of the whole thing is really nice. It all fits together perfectly. The only seams you see are the ones that are supposed to be there for the bottom of the RDA and for the switch. One thing I did notice, and it's could be a pro, could be a con, is that once you get this O-ring juiced up for the chuff cap, all you have to do when you are going to rejuice it is literally just a little bit of pressure and the whole thing pops right off. With that having the juice on there, you actually do get a little bit of condensation right around the top, but I've not actually gotten a large quantity of juice to come out of it. It's pretty decent vape. You get some really decent flavor off it. So that's a bonus. Cons wise, like I said, the liquid around the top here does kind of get a little bit overwhelming, but not too bad. O-rings are extremely strong, so let's go with positives instead. The magnets and the switch, very strong, extremely strong. So for a total combined kit, the only thing you have to put is get your own coils, get your own cotton, and some juice and a battery, and you've got an all-in-one kit for under $50. That does give some decent flavor. Warning, I didn't know if you noticed it or heard that click. That is how strong the batteries are. It's actually pulls. Actually, this is how strong the batteries are. And that has the battery in it, or not batteries, but the magnets. Do not put this near your wallet. Do not put this near credit cards. Do not put this near your phone. Don't put it near a screen. You will ruin something and destroy a credit card or something else. But yeah, it's strong magnets. So as far as cons that I can come up with this thing, so the airflow is a little loud. You can hear this. That's let me grab. Well, this is the Kali. So as I wind myself, so the airflow is a little bit loud, but I mean that doesn't really take too much away from it. I mean it's you're getting a decent flavor for the size of the RDA. It's for the price, $46. You can it's still not bad. So that's pretty much it. You get the really loud airflow, but that's about it. I mean that's all I've got for it. It's works really good, and decent flavor. So there you go. I'll go ahead and see if I can't find the exact link on online to put it into the description of where you can actually find this. I believe it's Vapor DNA. They actually had this. So, all right. Remember, keep vaping, stay off the damn cigarettes, and I will see you in the next one.